Hello, welcome to or plus. I'm feeling much better. It's been a little over, not 2 weeks. It's been a little over a week, I think, since I've recorded, since I've done anything with this channel. I am incredibly sorry that I was not able to make it last week. Or so it was Monday, Tuesday, and Friday last week that I was able to trade. I only did Monday because I had literally a sore throat. I typed out the entirety of the video. It sucked. I was in pain. I didn't feel good at all. Um, there's no real other explanation for it. I didn't want to trade because I was so sick. My mental was just out the window. And we had lost that trade. The idea was a good one, but ultimately consolidation got us here. As you can see, we thought it would go lower. It went lower, um, but not before it came up and stopped us out. So I'm thankful it stopped us out when it did. We've gone an entire almost week without trading. We went through, let's see, 11, 12. So yeah, that would have been the remainder of this week. And then 13, 14. We are currently in 15. So we are at the fresh start of this week here. I know you can't see my calendar that I just pulled up. I just checked the calendar. We missed a week. No biggie. This is recoup week. Recoup. Because we lost $5 on this trade. And I really don't like the fact that we lost $5 on that trade. I could have done better. I should have done better. I didn't do better. So today we're going to fix that. Lickety split. Not that. I said that and instantly put down the wrong thing. 950 and then 1010. Yes. Okay. So we have our golden area. We have pre-market. We have Asian and London session. Let's go ahead and hit back up the hour. I'm not gonna lie. This hurts to look at. This really hurts to look at because this is pretty much what this right here was doing, except on a larger scale. The daily says we've been going up, haven't no structure at all. We're actually at an all-time high. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's an all-time high. That's what that is. Cool. Let's go ahead and clear my eyes real quick. Because I like to know exactly what market has done so we can prepare for what we're about to do. Okay? Okay. Good. We broke structure here temporarily. We thought it would go lower. It did. It went lower. Not before it went higher, though. Okay? No biggie. No biggie. We broke structure again. Order block here. Came down, revisited, closed within, shot higher. Cool. Came lower, or way higher. We had for value gap. For value gap, second price is just going to keep going higher. Daily says we're in an uptrend with stuff saying that we're going to go higher. Okay. A little bit more in depth, we're going to start like roughly in here. We know, and from this, we're actually in an uptrend. Okay. I can see that plain as day. We're an uptrend, uptrend, uptrend. Down, up, still an uptrend. Cool, down, up. It created a lower low. It revisited this. Um, it revisited a couple things actually. It filled this fair value gap, I want to say, and it continued higher. Cool. Fair value gap, fair value gap. Break of structure here. It closed below this low here. Cool. It closing below this low, moving up, making this an order block. Actually, it made this an order block. We disrespected it by closing above. It came down and revisited this order block because we broke structure again off of this. Came down, closed within, revisited this order block here. Move up, down, move up. 4 hour says we're in an uptrend, saying that we're actually moving higher. We just manipulated a low, and we just recently disrespected an order block with a respected breaker block here, and that we'll see it continue moving higher. What does the hour say? Hour says consolidation, which is yikes. Let's take a look though. So we had break of structure, order block. Okay. Move up, closure above, disrespect. Break of structure again, order block. Move down, revisit, close within, order block. Breaker block shot way higher. For value up, for value up, for value up. Cool. Haven't had a revisit into this at all, which is completely fine. We had down, up, no break, no break, no break, no break, break. Okay. Order block, move up, respect, move lower. It closed within this right here, making this a respected breaker block. It continued lower, swept past all these lows here, came down, and hit some of this fair value gap, which is okay. Moved higher, break, order block, moved down, revisit, breaker block, respected, closed, cool, moved higher. Came down again, didn't close below this low, making this just a small retrace. Fair value gap saying false signal. Hello, false signal. Let's see what, that's 15. Let's see what happened over here. $18. Let's do 30. Cool. So at the 15, same story here on the NASDAQ. We're going to move down, less of a false signal. Move up, no break of structure. Same story on S&P. Move down, move up, no break of structure. Move up, down, cool. Continues moving higher. Move down, manipulates the low. Doesn't hit, so I'm going to say it doesn't. I need to. It did not manipulate the low. This didn't manipulate anything. It was just a retrace. Regardless, though, we're still in an uptrend. Continued higher, making a higher high, and we're just moving higher. Okay, so on 4 accounts now, the daily, the 4 hour, and the 1 hour. We're in an uptrend. We have yet to break structure. We know that there was a false signal on the S&P that was not a false signal on the NASDAQ. Okay. From this, what do I know? I know that we're moving up. I know we haven't moved down. I know there's a potential to move down. There's potential for it to break structure and continue lower. Okay. Let's go ahead and mark out highs and lows. Get that taken care of. This is a low on Asian session, which is still valid. This is a low outside of session, which is still valid. And this is a low on London session. Cool. Asian session high is here, but we don't care about that because it passed up that. And this will get fixed when we go to the 30-minute. Boom. Is this a high outside of? It is, but it's invalid because this is an all-time high. Which is a little scary to me because every time I've traded from an all-time high, it's always been a wrong idea and we'd lose and it'd be kind of sucky. So we're gonna take things slow today. Here's another low outside of session. Cool. Because right now we have things to mark on the low side, so this is where we're at with it. Cool, cool, cool. That's a low on NASDAQ. It's created a whole bunch of strong draws all the way down here. It's like smack dab in the center too. No more than that. None there, none there. Too high into that. Good. That's incredibly close. I think we did the best we could here, in all honesty. We've marked all the draws here going lower. Let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to change this right here to a green. Because if this does go low, this will be our first take profit. And then from that, to half to, and then keep going. So exit. All right, let's see what the 30-minute says real quick. So we can clean this right here up. Okay. So yeah, same story. We can't mark the high on Asian session because it's been completely engulfed by this move up here. This is going to keep moving until we get out of pre-market where this candle opens up. We'll mark the last high before market open. That way we're not moving this around any more than we have to. Once it's done and out the way, this candle's closed, in other words. From that point forward, we'll look for highs and lows. Sure, let's go ahead and do this real quick. We had a low here, but that doesn't matter because this was invalidated. That right there is the low of London session. It's not the lowest point, but it is the low. Here's the high at the moment. Still getting over that sickness, guys. Sorry. Boom. This. Boom. Cool. The low here doesn't matter. The high here does not matter. This is our range from NASDAQ. High outside of doesn't matter because it was closed up above. That's funny. The same low outside of session does not matter because it was closed underneath. It wasn't closed underneath. It was takes up underneath. It was manipulated and then move up higher. I'm going to go ahead and mark a couple key levels here. Not key levels, take profits. If it were to reverse. Strong draw there. Strong draw there. That is a low on NASDAQ. Cool. There's a low. Let's go ahead and knock that out. I don't know what this is marking. Oh, it's the low for the hourly. That is a steep drop. Still valid though. That's 8 on the 11th. I didn't go. Oh no, I did. I went a little bit below that. This is as far as I'll go. Nothing there. Cool. Nothing there. Okay. So we have our take profits. If it were to break and continue lower. I don't think it will though. Everything is saying we're going higher. So and the scary thing about this is that it's actually making huge swings. It's very volatile today. This is news. It's about to come out literally in a couple minutes. It's an orange folder too. Yeah. All right. So everything's pretty much set. Still waiting on news, but everything to my knowledge at the moment is pretty much set up for trade. If it's an all-time high that we're hunting after, we'll place the at each line will be a take profit. 30 minutes before pre-market. Okay. Let's go back up to the hour. Yeah. We're a little ways out. We just hit an all-time high. Um, fair value gap suggesting they're going higher. No break of structure. No manipulation of the low quite yet. We swapped up all this liquidity here by retracing. We have fair value gap suggesting higher. Fair value gap suggesting higher. We broke past this. It has gone higher. A break of structure would mean we'd have to close below this here. I'm looking for a confluence before this occurs, so an inverse value gap or a 75% extension. It just crashes through this, and we see that. I'm actually inclined. Actually, I'm sorry. My mistake. Key levels got to get hit first. Either A, when market opens, we see it come up, close within this, or just tick above it, or we see it close and tick below this, go to the 5 minutes to confirm, hey, yeah, it's actually closed within this, it's closed above that, right? And then from there, we find our confluences for the best trade possible. Okay? Okay. I'm gonna go blow my nose real quick because it's starting to get on my nerves. I'll be right back. Oh, news. 1 second. Big number. What does it mean? Actual grade and forecast good for currency? It was lesser, which means price is due to go down. Because of that being a thing, I'm inclined to think we might be seeing a reversal sometime soon. So I will be right back. Let's see what happens with price. Hello. I have achieved pizza status, chat. Comment section. I've achieved pizza. Little stiff. Don't mind the stiffness. Why? Because I mean they're cold. These are just straight cheese too, so no biggie. So I was looking at the MACD, this right here, this indicator over this chart, right? Something I noticed. So the hour gives off a false picture, but if we move up to daily real quick, we'll see something a little bit different. The daily has essentially said this whole time that we have been, like, most of the volume's been towards the sell side recently over the past couple of months. Unlike back in May, April, unlike back in April, May, where price has just consistently gone higher. Instead, it's been slowly trickling down the amount of volume has. So, my thought process on this note specifically is this might continue higher, but because we've been consistently making all-time highs throughout this, right? When we're on the buy side, um, volume's not there to continue pushing it. So the result is we need a market shift. Essentially, what that means is right now we're at an all-time high, and not enough people are in, not enough volume of this is in for it to really make a really big leap. But that's completely understandable and fine because this is the daily. Okay. The thought process is because there's so little volume, not to expect giant moves. Okay. That's the only thing you could take away from the MACD is that you have volume and you don't. If you have volume, cool. If you don't, you don't. The more volume there is, the bigger the move. The less volume there is, the smaller the move. Cool. What can we, how can we use this in relation to the chart? Well, just looking at it first off and understanding we've been making all-time highs and we've been making higher lows with those highs. And it's only when we start to make really big lows, these super strong draws on liquidity. I'm gonna zoom way the flip out right quick. right here. Super strong jaw, right? Large wick, small body. Understanding that that is a serious mode of volume. Same story here, volume. Same story here, volume. Same story here ish. Less volume, but still more like this right here, volume. And then we go all the way down here to where this is a thing, and you could see we had some seriously high volume here, and it just way high. Similar situation here where we had a huge move up, this huge leg up, major volume back in May, right? We can't expect super strong moves like that, but there is always a potential that when market opens that the volume is going to spike, which it typically does. There are more people entering the market, and we'll see that fluctuation occur. Um, the question is, in what direction will it occur in? Well, we've been making all-time highs, and the volume's been slowly decreasing every single time we've made a new high. So, my logical thought process is, okay, wait for this high to be done. Wait for it to break structure. Wait for it to reverse completely. Because we've been slowly trickling down to lesser amounts on the buy side liquidity. So, the next time we see a break and volume go towards the sell side, we should be seeing a large move much further down. That's what I'm thinking anyway. That's what my thought process is. All right, so we've made that high there. Still on the hour, waiting for either this to get hit or this to get hit. One of the two. There'll be enough volume in the market to manipulate one of the two. Which side do I think it's going to manipulate first? In relation to current price action, which is right here, this huge green line here, the high is the closest. In relation to confluence saying, hey, price is actually going to continue higher or lower, dependent on whatever, depending on where it wants to go for the day, it's actually that low. And the fair value gaps in between. So this right here, this gap ish. I said this gap. I'm wrong about this gap. It's this gap right here. We have this singular gap that it could inverse, or we could break structure completely and close below that. It's either got to hit and close, and then from there we determine our confluences between these two. Attempt to make an entry, and then from there watch the result. But before that can happen, we have to wait all the way till 9:30, which is within 40 minutes. So I'm going to pause the video one more time When I unpause the video, we'll be within market open, and I'll be looking for a confluence that gives me a better understanding as to where market's going to want to go and what my idea should be. Granted that up to this point, everything has said we are in an uptrend. We're going to continue in an uptrend. Nothing's saying we're going into a downtrend. So we're gonna separate the two for now until we have confirmation that, yeah, we're actually going to continue higher per today's market. I'm going to pause the video now. I'll be right back. Give me a second. All right. So we're blasting music at the moment in my ears. I'll be honest, my thoughts are a little hazy outside of just a straight vibe right now. So we're going to work on two things at the moment. The first is attempting to think. The second is this volume. Absolute bangers. Absolute. Just good. Okay. Let's talk, let's chat, let's take a look at something right quick. We are at market open. Looks like we have hit our high. Boom. Market open. Boom. Here's our high. Cool. Let's check news. Make sure we're good there. Nothing new outside of the Empire Manufacturing Index, and of course, that's still the same. Can you tell it's been a minute since I woke up early? Gosh. Alright. Game time. We manipulated this high here. We done hit it. Looking for 1 to 2 things. From this low up to this high. I think. We're looking for from this low price to go all the way up to the 75% extension. It either hits this bar or we see an inverse for value gap or a break of structure, meaning this will close up high in this uptrend, right? And then we'll see a low form close below this line here. And from there, we have our first confluence, a confirmation that either a high or a low was just manipulated. In this instance, in this case, it would be the high that we're waiting to get manipulated on. And because we're already at an all-time high, there's not really much room else for it to go except either an open field to create higher highs, which will be confirmed by the 75% extension, or a break of structure, which will then lead to confirmation that this high is the highest high market wants to go to for now. I think I've done pretty dang well so far. We don't really have any fair value gaps outside of these ones over here, like this one. So if it does wind up breaking structure, we might get a 3-in-1 deal where it closes here, drops below, breaks structure, hits this 75% extension, inverting this, and ultimately not breaking structure on the hour, but breaking structure. I am wrong. I thought I'd break structure on the 30-minute. I am wrong though. It wouldn't break structure on the 30. It wouldn't break structure on the hour because we've just been in a straight up rocket mode. Just rocket man all the way up. Just go to 5-minute real quick. Woo. When you yawn, a little bit of tear comes out. You're just waking up. Body's like, no, I don't want to wake up. I wake up though. All right. Boom. Cool. Cool. Just waiting. That's all we're doing. Waiting. Looks like it might actually hit the 75% extension potential. Potential. For it to break structure, it's got to close below that low there. So we'll be waiting on that. I'm turning this back up. This is also a banger. That was the yawn, not a scream. One kid when I saw it, like, I haven't been waking up early because of trying to get better health wise. But you can't see. Sorry. No, I can't see. Go ahead. I'll wait. Music just doesn't last as long as it used to. Like you have those few bands that'll produce something really like worthwhile, and then that could be played 100 times, but it's always so short. Again, music's not supposed to last forever, but at the same time, it's one of those things where you want more. The ear is pleased and would like to continue to be pleased, but to do that, you need to keep playing. And I know how difficult it is to play something that long. Know how. I know the difficulty. I know it. Golly, is this like not there? Hello. I'll be correcting this here in a second. I think we're going to see a break of structure here soon. Yeah, I think we're about to see a break of structure. High manipulated, liquidity sweep from there. Maybe a break of structure, revisit, order block, breaker block, form within this, fall. Breaker block would form up, close within this range here. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to move it up to this high, because it goes from this low to this high. This whole thing's an order block. This closing below this gives me a break of structure. And then from there, we need to see one of the continuation confluences form. Either the next candle makes this one into a fair value gap, or we'll see it continue on down, continue to break structure there, and then we'll see it ramp up. It's not an inverse for value gap. Not a break of structure. We're simply waiting. That's all we're doing. I have not seen my confirmation confluence yet. Just so we're on the same page. I'm looking for either. I'm looking for a break of structure. I'm looking for an inverse for value gap. I'm looking for either an SMT divergence, which it made a lower low. SMT. Okay. SMT. Cool. So my next confluence would be fair value gap, order block formation, breaker block, or price to go within equilibrium. For price to go within equilibrium, it would need to close within this here and then whee all the way up. Okay. I think we look for the confirmation for the continuation confluence. Let that form first, then go to the 1 minute, figure out my reversal, enter, and then wait for it to go higher. There was an SMT created. This low right here, this is the SMT. It's got to come back down within that range. Or it can form a fair value gap. So we're thinking continuation higher. SMT is the reversal confluence, but if the S&P creates a lower low while the Nasdaq creates a higher low, it means a reversal to the upside, meaning it'll continue higher. Okay, because that's a thing, right? The question then becomes what my next confluence is. I'm thinking fair value gap because we're not seeing it come back down within this range here. So I don't think equilibrium's a confluence we can actually rely on. We didn't break structure. If that's a fair value gap, it's insanely small. From this low to this high, we saw price come up. Cool. Actually, it hit this high, but it was there the whole time. Moved up, moved down. Came within here. This would have been optimal range to enter on to see it continue higher. So we may have actually missed it. We may have. Completely understandable. I've been looking for a confirmation confluence this whole time. I don't want to enter yet because we just recently discovered the S&T divergence, right? So my now thought process is we need a well-defined continuation confluence for me to be confident enough that my trade is in the correct. Because my stop loss will be well below that low that was just created on the S&P, and that is very low. Very, very, very low. So if this forms a fair value gap, I'm entering up on a long. My stop loss is going to be just below this candle here. Mm. Unless we get a revisit. It's almost 10. Looks like we are going to get that fair value out. I'll wait towards candle close though. Don't want to risk prematurely entering. All right. So we have entered in a long position. My idea is wrong here. I don't even know where to put my take profit. This is a new experimental for me. I'm not entirely sure what we're doing here. We're going to de-risk them, put these at equal integers completely apart one another. It's part of final take profit. Potentially up there. I think that's fair take on it. And we'll scale out at each one of these. This is clearly an S&T, and the way I read it, if the S&P makes a lower low while the NASDAQ creates a higher low, it's a trend reversal sign in the up direction. Shows strength in a downtrend. So it's going to move higher. It has moved higher. And so the thought process is that it'll keep going higher based on this fair value gap. The continuation confluence is this fair value gap. This right here hurt. This right here hurts. Looking to make that back today. Learning moment here. Because I'm over here thinking, hang on, thoughts. So we were looking for one confluence. We discovered the S&T. We didn't hit the 75% extension. We did not hit fair value gap. We did not hit break of structure. We just got an S&T. Okay. Based on the S&T, based on the research I just conducted, where pretty much the site that says, hey, yeah, when one forms, look out, because if it's the S&P that's creating the lower low, that means we're going to see a reversal to the upside. It's going higher. Nasdaq's created a higher high. It's going or a higher low. It's actually going to continue higher. The reverse is also the case. If Nasdaq creates a lower high while the S&P creates a higher high, that would mean trend reversal to a downtrend. Okay. 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 From that point forward, what am I looking for? I am looking for price to continue higher at the moment. We saw the S&P, S&T divergence. We saw a fair value gap form. Cool. From this fair value gap onward, up. That is the trend. Looks like we're getting a reversal. That inverted that fair value gap. I think we lost this trade because one, we traded way too high. Two, we were late to the game with the S&T identification. I'm trying to think. Because it was an all-time high that we are trading from, right? It makes things very difficult. Hey, buddy. Let me take this. And put it right there. Hang on. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, what you doing? Hi. Hi. Driving a truck? What you doing, buddy? Vroom, vroom. Vroom, vroom. Hi. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop. Boop, 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 boop. I think you're full, buddy. Your diety needs changing. I'll be right back. All taken care of. I'm trying to think what I could have done better here. I know I could have done better at identifying the S&T divergence. Our first confluence, right? I know I could have done better at that. Separately, what could I have done better? I probably could have waited. I very much so probably could have waited. Everything says we were going in an uptrend, but before it can make a higher high, it's got to make a lower low. And we've been on the 5-minute in an uptrend for a while. Price has gone above this. And again, this is not indicative of trend. This is indicative of volume and where price has been for the most part. We crossed up here, and price has since wanted to come back down and reverse up here. I think that's what's about to happen. Here's what I'm going to do. Here is what I am going to do. If this green line crosses this green line here, right? And this blue line crosses this orange line, and we see it continue down before it hits this stop loss, I'm going to back out of the trade. I'm going to re-enter the trade. And this is an experiment time. This is experimental gist. This is back testing. This is me trying to figure out if this is going to work the way I want it to. Because we have manipulated the high. We've gotten the inverse fair value gap now off of this. Okay. And I don't mind losing $3 now. $3 and I think that's 60 cents. 50 cents. $3. Yeah, $3, almost $4. If we can gain back the 5 we did before. Okay. That is my thought process. Because We've created a, we've created an all-time high and have seen a confirmation confluence that price has manipulated the high. We've seen it now. Now we need to see the reversal, continuation confluence. That would be a fair value gap, breaker block, order block, or price to go within equilibrium. If price comes within this range, closes, bounces off, and continues higher, okay, cool, we'll stay in the trade. But if we see this green line crossed and it just continue on down, we'll back out of this, re-enter into a short. Right now, it looks like we're going to have a false signal. This is going to cross this orange line before this crosses the green line, which tells me that my idea that we may have lost this trade is wrong, because a false signal essentially means this is going to come below here just temporarily enough to where we'll see it reverse back up and we'll see it continue even higher. How much higher? I don't know, because again, this is the all-time high and this is open field. We don't know if it'll reach any of this. That's why I move my stop loss, my take profit, final take profit to the top of this, because I don't know if it'll hit this or not. I'm watching trade. I'm watching this right here as I'm trying to figure out all-time high trades to get them better mastered. Because my understanding is that if market says it's going higher, that's cool, but because there's no real markers you can put on the chart for a high to target, right? Because there is no high before that, you kind of have to make things up in such a way that the percentage you gain off of the trade is not bad. The risk to reward is there, and you're gaining something from somewhere most people don't understand or how to do that, and I'm one of those few that don't understand it, right? And I'm trying to figure out where exactly my final take profit needs to be so the end result is I'm not getting stopped out from my lack of understanding, if that makes sense. I'm trying to do this as fast as possible, but he didn't exactly title that video how to trade from an all-time high. Looks like I might be about to scale out if I hit this right here. Potentially. We'll see though. We didn't break structure. $1.47. Not a bad risk reward ratio, but it could be a lot better. Need this up high, sorry. Multitasking. I'm gonna do this. Yeah, do this. Switch to that channel. Although 10:30. 10:30 says if we leave the trade, we cannot re-enter. So we're kind of locked in now. Comment section. We're kind of locked in now. Crap. Remember what I was saying earlier about the S&T divergence? If S&T makes a lower low while the Nasdaq creates a higher low, we're going higher. Yeah, and then the reverse. The reverse is also a thing. If the SMT is the S&P creating a higher high while the Nasdaq is creating a lower high, that's a reversal sign that we're going into a downtrend. You can see it. I can see it. This hurts to look at. From this high right here to this high up here. Man, from this high right here right now to that high right there. This needs to go way higher. Dang it. I'm going to hold out just because the general trend is still up. We have yet to break structure. That has yet to inverse that fair value gap. It just filled it, bounced off, which is still okay. This right here inverted the fair value gap, but then chose to break structure back up out of it. It disrespects that. We see a closure above this. It'll continue higher. This right here. No fair value gap within this. We'll wait and see what happens. Let's see what the hour's doing real quick while we're here. Dragonfly doji, meaning it will continue higher. We had a fair value gap. It has continued higher. We have another fair value gap. If this candle closes in the next 26 minutes, that's a fair value gap. Doji, continuation higher. There's indecision, but it'll continue higher nonetheless. See what the hour looks like on this as well. Fair value gap, inverse, break, continuation, sorry. Fair value gap here. Big fair value gap there. This can close and still go higher. It's got 25 minutes on it. Just like that one. The hour says we're in an uptrend. Let's see what the 30 minutes says. 30 minutes. Same situation. We had a break there. Revisit. Cool. Move in. Continue lower. And then break there. Boom. We have yet to visit this here. Ouch. 30-minute does not look good because if this continues lower, breaks past that, revisits this, ouch. in a spectacular way. Ouch. What was my stop? We could gain 9. I imagine we're losing $4 here. Hmm. So I can't find that video. Like, I've looked, but I can't find it. He may have taken it down. I can't remember. That's today's news. Tomorrow's going to be a little bit more eventful. We can't trade Wednesday because of FOMC. Thursday, we can trade. Friday, there's nothing, so we can trade that day as well. So today is a pretty eventful week. So it's a day. This week is a eventful week. Gosh. Not an early board. I'm convinced he probably took it down. Because he went into detail on how to manage risk while taking trades from all-time highs, but for some reason, I just can't find it. Let me see if it's this. That is one scary, slippery slope right there. Sorry for the silence. Between trying to make a decision and having to take care of the position, I needed to make sure of things. So, three things. First off, I recognize that we took a trade on a high, and the thought was that it was going to continue higher, right? Everything beforehand said it would continue higher. The trend from the daily, the 4 hour, the 1 hour. We had that. Okay. We had an S&T divergence from the S&P, creating a lower low than that of the Nasdaq. Nasdaq was creating a higher low. That S&T told me price was reversing in an uptrend. We're going higher, right? From there, we waited for another instance of confluence. We got continuation, fair value gap. Green, go higher. Continuation. It confirmed the S&T. From there, we took the trade. The trade was where it is now. We didn't go to the 1 minute. We didn't check for a break of structure. We didn't go to the 1 minute. We didn't check for break inverse for value gap. We took it based on that fair value gap. Period. We waited for the candle to close. We took the trade. From there, since that trade, we have encountered two S&Ts on the 5 minute. Two of them. From both of them, we've seen price somewhat consolidate just above where we entered. Just above entry. We've been waiting for it to rip a little bit more, get up into those green lines there, or take profits. Hasn't done so. So I figured, okay, we've visited this line 3 times now. We have seen this line, this first green line, get crossed 3 times. On the 3rd time, my final straw, de-risk. Because the final S&T we got suggested that price was actually going to reverse in the opposite. In other words, we're going into a downtrend. Price is going to go lower and lower and lower and lower. And that's a problem because we don't want to lose this trade. I'd like to win this trade. I'd like to be able to say this trade was a successful one. So we can reverse the damage done last Monday when I was sick as a dog and I couldn't really think straight past my own issues. This right here in particular. If we can manage to make back this fee here and this fee here, then I will 100% be happy with both of them. Both that fee and this fee, okay? I want to see both those fees completely reversed. And tomorrow when we come into trade, I'm going to be looking to take profit on a much larger scale. The goal is to reverse that loss from Monday. Was I confident in this trade? Yes. When the S&Ts popped up, it shook me a little. I waited. I stayed patient. I am still patient. We are beyond the 1030 mark, and the idea is that the price is going to continue higher based on previous time frame confluences suggesting price is going higher. Understanding that we're already mid-rip up, price has a great potential to rip down. Price has a great potential. Unfortunately, we cannot take another trade today. I don't think. I don't know. I want to look something up. 4 p.m., huh? I see. So 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. would be my new time to really work with that. 12, it'd be 16, right? 16 to 20, because it's 4 to 8. Hmm. Decisions. I want to try that. Today might be a double episode. I understand the risk in doing this. I understand that I'm losing the trade now. I'm gonna close out of the position there because I do believe it's gonna break structure and just continue on down. That's a problem for me because I don't want to lose a lot more than what I am able to lose. I recognize I had a decent idea going up until the SMT showed up. I recognize when the SMT showed up, I could have noticed that, taken a trade, put my stop loss where it needed to go, and waited for this break to occur and it just continue on down. I recognize that we were in an uptrend, a big one, and that price could have reversed at any point. I understood the risk going in today's trade, and I learned a couple things. I learned a couple things. There it goes crashing through. We would probably get stopped out with this move that is now entered into. Before we end today's video, let's go ahead and just fix something real quick, because I have been meaning to do this for a while now. Not August. No, 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 no. Yeah. We need to start with August. So we're going to go to the calculator real quick. We're going to add this up. I know I've done this before. We're going to do this one more time because I have been doing a very poor job at making sure to keep track of my wins and my losses. For the month of August, we ended on that amount. August. Oh wow, I didn't even. So I figured this out. Hang on. I fixed this. 20.41. Pass. Let me go see what this board says real quick. All right. So we ended July on $2.36, which is still a pass. Okay. We are now in September. I know we've lost a decent amount from zero here. Calculator. Clear everything. Good. September's fee starts right here. This is the start of September. This is where we are now. So we started with a negative 0.60, add 0.03 plus 0.05, subtract 5.00, subtract 0.50 plus 0.03 plus 0.05 plus 0.46, subtract 0.51. We are down $6 this month. 5.99. This is where we are, though. This is our current progress. I'm going to save this now. Boom. So now that we can see pretty much all of this as is, we'll take this amount right here and we'll add and subtract as time goes on throughout this right here. I want to attempt to make another trade later today, 4 p.m., 8 p.m. time, right? Somewhere in there. It's going to be new to me. It's going to be very, very weird because those are my prime time hours. Those are when I am wide awake, good to go, right? So you're going to get a different version of me today. Like, I'm not going to edit any other video for like the gaming channels or anything like that because I think I'm good cutting up stuff now. It's just that actually like editing Wednesday and putting stuff in it Thursday and getting it like souped up, right? Today's trade, early morning, not very good. Not very good, not very bad either. It's not bad. I'm curious to know what I could do. 4 p.m. I'm curious. I really, really am. I know it's not a good idea to trade twice in a day. I know it's a bad idea. I know it's a bad idea. I do. um Good news is we don't have to worry about more news. Except that news happens later in the day. So yeah. I'm going to wait. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Okay. So everyone was expecting high volume trades there based on this site's posts and the forums, I guess. Um it was an okay trade. It was an okay day. All in all, I think I could have done better with catching the SMT. I also think later on today is going to be a little bit of a different story because potential news, there's just no telling. I'm going to try and I'm going to see. So a little bit, yeah, a little bit to learn there. I'm gonna look up some YouTube videos while I'm out and about today. Um, I think we did good though. I think we did good. I know we could have done better. I know we could have done better. Not a thought there. I think we did good spacing these out. Though we didn't hit anywhere near target. Most of everybody on the forum said strong draw from volume. That strong draw would not have happened until much later in the day, and here we are. We got out just before. We should have been aiming for this. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Big whoop. Oh well. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I know it's been a long one. You have a wonderful day. Hopefully later today we can identify a trade that we can take. Like, I'm gonna mark it now. Where is help me out. 4 p.m. on that time is what? Wouldn't it be 16? So right about there. Between 4 and 8 is what I was told. So between these two. That is a large gap. I know this right here is the start of Asian session. Maybe broker doesn't allow this right here, but it does allow from here this way. So I'm thinking what we can do is mark this out and then the following morning do something like this right here. Yeah, that's a weird setup. Very weird. Because from this candle to this candle's Asian session. From here to here is London session. Pre-market, open, and then close. Or not close, but you get the point. And where I'm supposed to start trading is right here. Gosh. Maybe I could treat that as pre-market. That would make the most sense to me. Treat this right here as pre-market, and everything after this candle, treat that like market open. Because there is a gap. There is a swap fee if I were to trade at 1600 at 4 p.m. specifically. So I wait till 8, or not 8, 6. I look for a trade around 6, and from that point forward, I can then make out the market and really dial in what it might do. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a like, subscribe if you're new on the comeback. Oh, wow, it's been 3 hours. I'm going to upload this now. Bye.